Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution curve multiple choice questions. Question 1. Which statement about molecules in a gas is correct? At fixed temperature, they all move at the same speed. That's absolutely false. At fixed temperature, the average kinetic energy is constant. That is true. Question 2. Consider the change that occurs in the shape of the curve for the distribution of molecular energies in the gas when the temperature of the gas is increased, which is a correct statement about the gas molecules at a high temperature. There are more molecules with any given energy. The more molecules with the mean energy. There are more molecules with the most probable energy. There's an increase in the most probable energy of the molecules. Which one is it? Well, there will obviously be an increase in the most probable energy of the molecules. So the answer is D. Question 4. What does the area under the curve represent? Total number of particles. Obviously most students, once they, because this is a key fact that is repeated on and on again in, this little topic. Area under the curve, total number of particles. So you probably cross out these two and you'd be deciding between A and B. And if you went for B and C, and if you went for anything other than B, you would get it wrong. Which of the following statements is true? Position A represents the mean energy. Molecules, no, that's the most probable energy. The mean energy is just a bit to the right to it, so that's false. Addition of a catalyst moves the position of EA to the right. No, because a catalyst will provide an alternative pathway with a lower activation energy. So it'd move to the left, because if it was moving to the right, then it would mean a higher activation energy. So no, it moves it to the left. The area under the curve to the right of the EA represents the number of molecules enough energy to react. That is true. Position of the peak of the curve at high temperatures further away from both axes. Yeah, that's obviously going to be false. Question 10. Which statement is correct about for the higher temperature? The area under the curve to the left of the EA decreases. The total area under the curve increases. The activation energy decreases. More molecules have the mean energy. And they can just test you on these very specific kind of thing on the Maxwell-Boltzmann curve, and you'd be expected to know it. And obviously the high temperature is the one where the peak is lower and it shifts more to the right. If we look here, more molecules have the mean energy. That is the mean energy of molecules will definitely increase. It makes sense. High temperature, more frequent collision, more successful collisions, more molecules have the mean energy. Question 11. Which letter best represents the mean energy of the molecules? A. Definitely not A. B. That's the most probable energy. C. Yes, it is C. E. D is where that's your activation energy, and these are particles that can react. And A, I don't even know what A is, but I know it's not right, so that's fine. Which letter best represents the mean energy of the molecules? Okay, but in this case, they've given us A and B and then C and D. They're not on the same axis. Well, this is obviously going to be, it's going to be C or D. Well, C, again, that's more probable energy. The answer is D. Which letter represents the most probable energy? So a lot of these kind of multiple choice questions at the higher temperature though. So that's very specific. Well, it can't be A or B, because that's not the energy, that's the number of particles, and it's on the wrong axis. So it's either C or D, and if you think about it, C or D. At the higher temperature, so the answer will be D. I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna check now my textbook on this topic. Yeah, at high temperature. Yeah, so the answer is in fact D. Which statement is correct about the distribution curve of molecular energies in a gas? The curve is symmetrical about the maximum. There are always some molecules with zero energy. No, a key fact is there are no molecules with zero energy. The position of maximum of the curve is not dependent on the temperature. The mean energy of molecules is greater than the most probable energy in the molecules. This one's actually pretty tricky. The position of the maximum of the curve is not dependent on temperature. No, I'm pretty sure it is dependent on temperature. Curve is symmetrical about the maximum. You can clearly tell the Maxwell-Boltzmann curve is not symmetrical. So the answer is D. A mixture of 2 dm cubed of hydrogen and 1 dm cubed of oxygen is at room temperature. Which statement is correct? There's no reaction for water because the molecules do not collide with sufficient energy. Forget that. I'm looking at D. The partial pressure of each gas is the same. That's absolutely false because we have different amounts of hydrogen and oxygen. So how can the partial pressures be the exact same? That's absolutely false. There's no reaction to form water because the molecules do not collide with sufficient energy. Answer is A. Which statement about the addition of a catalyst to an equilibrium mixture is correct? The activation energy for the reverse reaction increases. The equilibrium constant for the forward reaction increases. Catalysts, equilibrium constants. Only temperature can affect the equilibrium constant, so that's definitely false. The rate of the reverse reaction increases. The enthalpy change for the forward reaction decreases. No. Hess's law. Enthalpy change is independent to root taken. Total enthalpy change is independent of root taken. The answer is C. If you think about that, if you add a catalyst, it will increase the rate of the reverse reaction and the forward reaction equally. And A, the activation energy for the reverse reaction increases. No, it would lower it, in fact. Question 20. Which statement about distribution curve molecular energies in an ideal gas at a given temperature is correct? There are no molecules with zero energy. Yes. Perfect. Curve is symmetrical about the maximum. Place, it's not symmetrical. Change of temperature has no effect on the position of the maximum. No. Because if you've got your normal Maxwell-Boltzmann curve, you increase the temperature. No, so you've got your normal Maxwell-Boltzmann curve, then you increase the temperature. It is going to change the position of the maximum. Most molecules have the mean energy. No, most molecules have the most probable energy. So the answer is 20. And question 12. Which letter shows the mean energy of the molecule at a high temperature? And they're all on the same axis. Because remember, if it was like P is here, Q is here, you can already eliminate them because of the fact that's the wrong axis. That's the number of molecules axis. And sometimes when they do that, you can just eliminate half the options. But in this case, which letter shows the mean energy of the molecule at high temperature? Well, higher temperature is going to be this one, so it can't be P and Q again. You can already eliminate those two because that is for the normal one. So it's either R and S, and remember, mean energy is always slightly to the right of the most probable energy, so it's clearly going to be S. And that is the end of the multiple choice questions.